Please, sir, can I have your leftovers? My baby hasn't eaten all day. The words froze James Whittaker in place. At 61, a self-made millionaire known across Seattle's business circles, James thought he'd heard every kind of plea before. Before we dive in, tell us, where into your world are you watching from? And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. This helps us to bring you more stories. A young woman stood at his table outside a glowing downtown cafe. Her blonde hair was tied back, her coat frayed at the sleeves. In her trembling arms, a baby whimpered, eyes barely opening beneath a faded pink blanket. James stared. Around them, diners glanced up briefly before looking away, but her voice carried a desperation that couldn't be ignored. Leftovers, James repeated. Emily swallowed, her face burning with shame. Yes, just the leftovers. I don't want money. I just can't let her go hungry again. James pushed back his chair slowly. Sit down. She shook her head. I don't want to intrude. You're not intruding, James said firmly. Sit. Reluctantly, she sat, clutching her daughter. James waved to the waiter. Another pasta. And tea. For the lady. Emily blinked rapidly, holding back tears. You don't have to. I know, James cut in. But you shouldn't have to beg for scraps. The baby stirred, letting out a soft cry. James leaned forward. What's her name? Sophie. Emily whispered. She's 4 months old. James's jaw tightened. For the first time in years, memories of his own daughter as an infant returned, and with them, the ache of his late wife's absence. As Emily ate cautiously, she revealed pieces of her story. She had fled an abusive relationship 6 months ago. She'd been working at a diner until it closed suddenly. Now she lived at a shelter, scraping by. Tomorrow she had an interview for a housekeeping job at the Marriott. James listened silently, his sharp business instincts reading her as genuine. Still, a part of him hesitated. He'd been burned before by sob stories that weren't real. He studied her closely. The way she balanced Sophie with practiced ease, the way she pushed half her food toward the baby bag instinctively, saving it for later. This wasn't an act. How old are you? James asked. 23, Emily said. I was in school once, nursing, but she stopped, her voice breaking. That feels like another lifetime. James leaned back, pulling a card from his jacket. On the back, he wrote a number. Call this tomorrow. Linda Morales. She runs housing and childcare programs for the Whittaker Foundation. Emily froze, staring at him. Wait, Whittaker, as in Whittaker Industries. James gave a small smile. That's me. Emily's eyes widened. She shook her head. I can't. I don't want pity. I just need it. This isn't pity, James interrupted. 30 years ago, someone gave me a chance when I had nothing. Tonight, I see that same fight in you. Emily's lip trembled. She whispered, thank you, but just as she tucked the card into her pocket, a shadow fell over the table. A man in a dark jacket stormed up, his face twisted in anger. Emily, what the hell are you doing here? Emily's body went rigid. Sophie whimpered. Is this the guy you ran to? The man sneered. Thought you could play poor little single mom, begging for food. James stood instantly, his voice sharp. Who are you? The father? The man spat. And she doesn't need your charity. She belongs with me. Emily's eyes filled with terror. Please, she whispered to James. Don't let him take her. The cafe went silent. Diners stopped eating, eyes fixed on the confrontation. James's mind raced. The protective instinct surged. But he knew this wasn't just about a meal anymore. Calmly, James stepped closer, his voice steady. You're not taking her. Not tonight. Not ever, the man sneered. And who's gonna stop me? You. James pulled out his phone, pressing a number on speed dial. Detective Reynolds, he said loud enough for the man to hear. We've got a situation at Cafe Bellevue. The man laughed bitterly. Call whoever you want. She's my daughter. I have every right. Tension thickened. Emily clutched Sophie tighter, tears sliding down her face. Suddenly, another voice cut in. Derek Carter. A man stepped out from another table. dressed in a business suit, holding a briefcase. He approached cautiously. "What on earth are you doing?" "None of your business," Derek snarled, but the suited man shook his head slowly. "It is my business. Don't you recognize who this is?" He gestured toward James. "That's James Whittaker." The James Whittaker, the man reviewing the bids for the Westlake project. Derek froze. His bravado faltered. "What? You've been chasing that contract for months," the friend continued. "And now you're out here causing a scene, threatening a woman in front of him." All the color drained from Derek's face. He looked at James, suddenly desperate. "Mr. Whittaker, wait, please. I didn't mean this isn't what it looks like. I love my daughter." James's gaze was cold. "Love doesn't look like this, and business isn't done with men who can't control themselves." Derek's mouth opened, but no words came. He tried to plead, but it was too late. Police sirens wailed in the distance. Emily clung to Sophie, shaking. James touched her shoulder gently. "You're safe now. And tomorrow, you'll make that call." Through tears, Emily nodded. "I will." 6 months later, James received a letter. Emily had gotten the hotel job. With the foundation's help, she'd secured housing, daycare, and was even taking evening nursing classes. Inside was a photo of Sophie, smiling with 2 little teeth showing. The letter read, "You gave us more than help. You gave us hope. You showed me that family isn't always who you're born to, it's who shows up when you need them most." James folded the letter and placed it beside his late wife's photo. For the first time in years, he felt something he thought he'd lost forever: purpose. "And now I'll ask you, what would you have done if you were sitting at that table?" Drop your answer in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, because tomorrow's story is even more unbelievable. Emily broke down, clutching Sophie. "He's been following me." The shelter said there wasn't enough proof to keep him away. "If you hadn't," James placed a hand gently on her shoulder, "you're safe now. And tomorrow, you'll call that number. Not just for you, for Sophie." Tears streamed down her face. "I will, I promise." 6 months later, James received a letter. Emily had gotten the hotel job. With the foundation's help, she'd secured housing and childcare. Enclosed was a photo of Sophie, sitting up and smiling wide. "Mr. Whittaker," the letter read, "You gave us more than help. You gave us hope. And you showed me that sometimes family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up when you need them most." James folded the letter carefully, placing it beside his wife's photo. For the first time in years, he felt the sharp edges of grief soften. Emily was right. Family wasn't just blood. It was humanity. It was grace. And sometimes, helping someone else find a second chance gave you one too.